All right, so let's dive into this world of quantum computing. You asked us to take a deep dive into IonQ AI stock, and you sent over a really thorough research packet on them. It looks like you're trying to decide if IonQ is a solid investment, or is it more of a gamble? What was it specifically about this company that caught your eye?
Well, what's really intriguing about IonQ is that they are the first publicly traded, pure play quantum computing company.
Okay.
They're not just doing research, they're actually building and selling these incredibly complex systems. And they've even partnered with some big names in tech,
Oh, wow.
like AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive start for a company that's only been around since 2015.
It definitely makes them stand out from the crowd. But let's back up a bit. For anyone tuning in who's not familiar with quantum computing,
Yeah.
what exactly is IonQ building, and how is their tech different?
So they specialize in a type of quantum computing called trapped ion technology. Imagine individual atoms, ions, held in place by electromagnetic fields and manipulated with lasers.
Wow.
That's how they create their qubits, the building blocks of quantum computers. Now, this approach has some key advantages over other methods, like superconducting qubits, which are much more common.
I was reading about that in your research. It sounds like trapped ion systems are more stable and less prone to errors.
Exactly. One of the biggest hurdles in quantum computing is something called decoherence.
Right.
It's basically when those delicate qubits lose their quantum properties due to interference from the environment.
I see.
It's like trying to write on a piece of paper while someone's shaking the table.
Got it.
But trapped ion qubits are remarkably resilient. Because they're isolated so well, they have much longer coherence times, which means they can perform more complex calculations before decoherence sets in.
So they can handle those intricate calculations
Yes.
without losing information as easily? That's a huge plus for tackling those really challenging problems the regular computers just can't handle.
Absolutely. And there's another key benefit of trapped ion technology. It can operate at room temperature.
Oh, really?
Yeah, many other quantum computing systems require extremely low temperatures close to absolute zero,
Wow.
which necessitates expensive and complex cooling systems.
I see.
IonQ's approach potentially sidesteps that issue, making their systems more cost-effective to run and potentially easier to scale up.
So from a purely technical standpoint, it sounds like IonQ's got a pretty solid foundation. But of course, technology is only part of the equation. When it comes to investing, right? Let's look at their financial performance and stock analysis.
Right. Their stock is currently trading at around $41.81, with a year-to-date increase of 140% as of December 2024.
Wow.
That's a massive jump. And it's largely fueled by investor excitement and speculation about the future potential of quantum computing.
Makes sense.
But it's important to note that their price-to-sales ratio, which compares the stock price to the company's revenue,
Yay.
is a whopping 195.38. This is much higher than typical industry norms, suggesting that investors are betting on significant growth down the line.
So a high-risk, high-reward situation.
Exactly their market cap, which reflects the total value of all outstanding shares, currently sits at $7.32 billion. But we need to look beyond those headline numbers and dig into their actual revenue and profitability.
Okay, so let's unpack their financials a bit further. What's the story there?
Well, in their most recent quarter, Q3 of 2024, IonQ reported revenue of $12.4 million.
Okay.
That's impressive year-over-year growth of 102%, showing they're making progress in commercializing their technology.
Right.
However, they also posted a net loss of $52.5 million in the same quarter,
Oh.
largely driven by significant investments in research and development, which amounted to $33.2 million.
So they're still burning through cash as they try to innovate and scale up. That's not uncommon for a company in this stage of development, but it's definitely something investors need to keep a close eye on.
Absolutely. But on a more positive note, they secured $63.5 million in new bookings,
Okay.
including that massive $54 million contract with the U.S. Air Force Research Lab we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
That's a major vote of confidence from a key customer.
Okay, so there are some encouraging signs amidst the financial challenges. They're clearly attracting significant interest from government and commercial clients. What other strengths and challenges are you seeing in your analysis?
One of their biggest strengths is their strategic partnerships.
Okay.
We've talked about the big tech companies they're collaborating with, but they also have deals with major players in industries like pharmaceuticals and engineering,
Right.
companies like AstraZeneca and Ansys.
Okay.
These partnerships not only bring in revenue, but also give them access to real-world problems to test and refine their technology.
Right. It's one thing to have a cool quantum computer. It's another to actually apply it to solve practical challenges in fields like drug discovery or material science.
Exactly. And speaking of practical applications, their Forte Enterprise system is reportedly capable of processing a staggering 34 billion scenarios simultaneously. To put that into perspective, imagine trying to simulate the complex interactions of a new drug with the human body.
Okay.
That level of computational power could revolutionize how we design and test new therapies, potentially leading to faster drug development and more personalized medicine.
Wow. That's a concrete example of how IonQ's technology could disrupt an entire industry. But let's flip the coin and talk about some of the challenges they face.
Yeah.
We've touched on profitability concerns, but what else stands out?
Well, as with any groundbreaking technology, there's a certain degree of hype surrounding quantum computing.
Yeah.
IonQ's high valuation reflects that hype, but it also makes them vulnerable to a price correction. If they fail to meet lofty expectations, investors might get impatient if they don't see a clear path to profitability soon.
Right. And even if the technology is incredible, the market doesn't always reward potential. Sometimes it demands tangible results in the short term.
Precisely. And then there's the competitive landscape. We can't talk about IonQ without addressing the elephant in the room. While they don't build quantum computers, their powerful GPUs are already being used to tackle some computational tasks that were once thought to require quantum capabilities.
Yeah. You mentioned Nvidia in your research notes. I have to admit, I was a bit surprised
Mm-hmm.
to see their name pop up.
Yeah.
In a conversation about quantum computing. They're known for their graphics cards and AI chips, right?
They are, but their latest GPUs, especially those in their Blackwell platform, are incredibly powerful.
Okay.
They're being used in everything, from scientific simulations to machine learning, and they're already pushing the boundaries of what classical computers can achieve.
Right.
So the question becomes, how long will it take for true quantum advantage to materialize, the point at which quantum computers outperform even the most advanced classical systems?
That's a great question, and it's one that investors are grappling with. If Nvidia can achieve similar results with existing technology, does that diminish IonQ's long-term prospects?
Yeah, it's a complex issue, and we'll need to delve into that comparison a bit more deeply. But before we jump into that, let's take a look at what the analysts are saying about IonQ's future.
Okay, let's hear it. What's the overall sentiment and forecast?
Well, Wall Street seems to be cautiously optimistic, giving IonQ a strong buy rating overall.
Okay.
However, their 12-month price target is currently around $25.67, which represents a significant drop from its current price of $41.81.
So they're predicting some short-term volatility, but they're still bullish on the long-term outlook.
Exactly. The high forecast for the stock is $37, while the low sits at $18. That wide range really underscores the uncertainty surrounding IonQ's trajectory. There's potential for growth, but there's also a considerable risk of a price correction.
So it sounds like investing in IonQ requires a certain level of risk tolerance and a long-term perspective.
It definitely does. This isn't a stock for someone looking to make a quick buck. It's a bet on the future of computing. The world of quantum computing is still unfolding before our eyes. It's a story that's waiting to be written. And it's a story that we can all be a part of.